And now let's turn it back over to Alex to talk about user experience.
All right. Thanks, Leah. So let's talk about user experience. This has been one of our major priorities over the last year in making FlutterFlow more of a joy to use. We've already made some improvements, helping you refactor, search, and navigate throughout the platform with keyboard shortcuts. But we also have a lot more improvements coming up in terms of user experience. Now, one area that we're really excited about improving as well is performance. So in the next few weeks, FlutterFlow will be significantly faster and more responsive than ever before. This will be especially noticeable in large and complex projects where we see up to an 80% reduction in jank and stutter and lag. It'll be a much more smooth and responsive experience. We've also started initial investigation into WASM, which we're really excited about, both for your applications as well as our own in FlutterFlow, which we think will make our applications much, much faster. However, speed and smoothness are not the only things that make for a powerful development experience. One of the aspects of FlutterFlow that is really core to who we are is, of course, the ability to write custom code, whether that's custom functions, actions, or widgets. However, for those of you who have written custom code within FlutterFlow, you know that currently the experience is a bit, let's say, limited. Which is why today we're excited to announce support for our FlutterFlow VS Code extension. Now, you can write, test, and push code right there in the context of your entire code base and in the code environment that you know and love. So I'd like to invite Ryan to give a little demo.
So we're going to start with a version of this app that you saw earlier today, the photo app. And we're going to make some edits to an existing custom widget in this project. So I've opened up the project here in FlutterFlow, and now I'm going to go ahead and move over to VS Code, where I already have our extension installed. So I'll start with the download code command, enter in the project ID of the main branch of this project, and then go ahead and choose a branch. You can leave it blank if you want to use main, but we're going to do custom code demo. And then select where on the computer you want to download this project. This looks good to me. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and download the generated code from this FlutterFlow project.
Cool. And how did it get the, how did you authenticate in order to download the code?
Yeah, you're going to need to use an API key that you'll set up as part of the extension settings. And you can generate that in the FlutterFlow front end. It's the same API key you use for the FlutterFlow CLI today.
Cool. You want to show us that API key? Maybe your social security number? Or?
I'll keep that secret for now.
Okay. All right, fine.
Great. Now that we've downloaded the code, we're going to initialize our coding session so that pushing and pulling will work as expected. Great. Now we can use VS Code and all those features that you know and love to edit our custom code. So let's open up a widget that we have here, this image with custom tooltip, and let's make some changes. I have some commented out code here. So I'll make some changes. Save. Oh, I see some errors. We're going to take advantage of the existing Dart extension on VS Code. Do a quick fix. OK, yeah, this is referencing a component that already exists as part of our FlutterFlow project. Mm-hmm. So we'll fix that. Save. Now we're ready to push this change back up to our existing project, and we'll push to FlutterFlow. Nice. That'll take a moment to sync. And then, yeah, we'll go take a look and see those changes here in our FlutterFlow front end. Yep.
Awesome. Cool. So, all right, nice. So that was, editing an existing widget. What if we want to create a new one? Can we do that?
Yeah. So if you go ahead and just create a new file in the custom code widgets directory, name it something. And yeah, our extension will automatically fill in the boilerplate, and you're ready to go. So I'll go ahead and save this, push back up to FlutterFlow again. Take a look back at our project, and yeah, we've got widget A here, ready to use, ready to edit up here in the FlutterFlow web app.
Nice. All right. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, data flows in both directions. So I can, add a child here, save this, and go ahead and pull the latest changes down to our VS Code extension, or our VS Code session.
Nice.
And then, yeah, the code that you've edited on the front end shows up here.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Ryan. Yeah, I know our developers are going to be really, really excited about this feature.
Yeah, excited to release it soon.
Cool. All right. So next, I would like to invite Abel back onto the stage for another exciting update.
Thanks, Alex. So when we announced FFDC on our community forum, one of the things we were doing is looking at what people are anticipating. And there was one theme that was common, came up quite often, which is not surprising nowadays, which is AI. And so one thing we've, since the revolution in LLMs over the last year and a half, we've been trying to see how we can integrate it to really fulfill our mission, which is to help you build high-quality apps faster. So today, we are excited to announce that we're launching a whole new set of FlutterFlow AI tooling, which I'm going to invite Guangwei to come on stage and demo.
So I'll give a quick tour of this app. It's already partially built. My goal by the end of this demo is to show this leaderboard with some interesting stats of where everyone is coming from, where you're traveling from for FFDC. I'm very curious to know which country has the most FFDC live attendees, and also for folks traveling domestically, which US states you are coming from. And then I would also love to see who are the users who have traveled the furthest to FFDC. I already have an intro page. This is going to be an input page. We're going to build this one out to turn it into a little form, a little questionnaire. I have a user collection set up. So very standard user fields. You've all seen this. And then a couple of fields I've added for your address, mode of transportation, and also we're going to calculate the distance traveled to New York City. And then we have a couple custom functions defined for the more complex logic I'd like to customize. So that's the basic setup. Let's get building. So here on this input page, I already have a header. I've got the first question down, and I like the style. This is what I'm going for. On this page, in the page description, I have entered a little blurb of text to remind myself what I'm going to build. So this is a page that allows FFDC attendees to tell us about themselves and this information we're gathering. So instead of dragging these widgets one by one, we're going to do something different today. We're going to open up the FlutterFlow AI Tools manual. And we're going to click Page Autocomplete.
Autocomplete is the first tool we're announcing today out of the suite of tools. And it looks at your page, the current design, any descriptions you have in the page to automatically fill it in. Now, what if you don't want to add all these widgets? What if it's completing too much for you? Can you modify that?
Oh, yeah, look at this slider. It allows you to select as little or as much of the proposed content to add to a page. I think in this case, I just really like everything it has generated. I'm going to hit accept, and our page UI is done. Now, before we move on, we need to implement the submit button. We're going to use Firestore for storage. So we're going to upload this information to Firestore. And here, I will use the new feature called Magic Cursor. Now, what does it do? I'll click on a button. I'll say, when I click, I'll just say when the button is clicked. Let's update Firestore to save user's name, their origin of travel, mode of transportation. And also calculate the distance to NYC.
So all of the stuff that you see here that will happen is stuff you could do manually by going through the UI selector, but by just pressing it, asking Magic Cursor to do it for you. Before I can even finish giving it context, it's already done, and the action is added.
Hey. Let's see what happened here. Oh, there's a couple actions being added. Validate form, that makes sense. There's a backend query, backend call to create a document. That makes sense. Display name, it's setting from text field. Country, I think this is reading from the place picker value of country. That's great. State, city, mode of transportation, this is the choice chip value, just like how I would set them. Distance traveled miles, this is using an existing custom function in my code base.
Yeah. The only thing left here. So I believe we maybe, it looks like it's creating a user document, but on Firebase, we know that you have to update a user document if you're using the FlutterFlow authentication feature. So it's, there's a small project error here, but it's easy to fix because we can ask it to make it an update instead of a create. I think there's a project there.
Yes, yes. In fact, we can generate this again. We're going to say, when button is tapped. Let's update the existing Firestore document to store user's name, where they came from, travel mode, distance to NYC. I'm just going to tell the model to, hey, make sure you are updating an existing document. And maybe this will do the trick. Oh, looks like the project error has gone away.
Perfect.
Yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. And also, there's a navigate action to leaderboard. It's desired behavior. So I think this page is done. So now we can go to the leaderboard page and finish it up. So I already have the first half of this page implemented. What I'd really like to do next is to add a section down here to show the users who have traveled the furthest to attend FFDC. I think in order to do that, I'm going to need some kind of a list view. There's a widget in it, maybe a little row or card showing the user's name and how far they have traveled. It's really hard to describe, but maybe I can draw it.
Wait, let me get the iPad for you.
Yeah, I got it. switch to. This is showing.
Is it live? Oh, yeah. It's live.
Okay. Can I
It's live, yeah.
full screen? All right. This is showing the view from my iPad. And I have an Apple Pencil here, so I can do things with it. Leaderboard. Yeah, I need to add a widget here. And let's see what's in this manual. Sketch to component. What does this do? Oh, I can draw things. Okay, I think this is like basically what I'm going for. Oh man. I feel like the model is going to be mad at me. Yeah, I wanna put like a user icon here. That's close enough, right? User name.
For our designers who love using the Apple Pencil on iPad, this is an amazing experience. For me personally, I'm not quite as talented.
Yeah, and I am clearly not a designer. Okay. You know, if the demo fails, it's because of my drawing. I hit generate component. Yeah, this is going to take a while to recognize. It's finished. Preview component. Oh.
I think even I would have had a hard time figuring that one out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry, little AI model. Cool. I like it. I'll just insert this component. And I will call this. Oh, how do I type here?
You can go back to the laptop if you want.
Amazing.
Yeah. So what we have here is two different devices that are on the same project. So you can have different members of your team at the same time collaborating. So if editing using the Apple Pencil is not great on a keyboard for you, you can easily switch back to the builder.
I love it. Yeah. Okay. Now let's go back to the demo. Okay. I just added this component. I'm going to add it to the list view. Okay, this actually looks pretty good. But I don't think this will work yet because this text is static. I think what I really want to do is to kind of add a component parameter to this component, passing a user document in, and then bind this parameter, like this text and this text, read them from the user document. So we know what to do. We're going to hit magic cursor. What if I say, let's add a component parameter. I'm just going to call it user. And we can say, like, read the username from the param. Something
Perfect.
happened. Okay, looks like there's a component parameter here. It is a document user. That's what I want. This display name, yes, it's reading from the user document.
Now all that's left is the distance.
The distance. honestly, I'm just going to start writing Python code here and see what's going to happen. Traveled miles. Is this going to work? I'm actually not sure.
So we didn't rehearse that, so it's going to be interesting.
I think this will probably be fine. Oh,
Wow, look at that.
text combination, distance traveled miles. Oh, there's actually a space before miles, so it's actually going to be number the miles. Love it. OK, we have just one thing left to do, which is to finish the list view. I think we need a backend query of some sort. Let's see if Magic Cursor gets that. Yeah, I would like to show, let's show the 5 users who have traveled the farthest to attend FFDC. How about that? So I'm going to say, let's add a backend query to show the 5 users who traveled the farthest. Hit enter.
Look at that. I don't see any red errors at the top. That means it's set up properly. It's always nerve-wracking when you see a lot of errors on a project.
Yeah, I see a little backend query icon. Querying user collection 5. That's what I asked for. Ordering by distance travel miles, decreasing. That's right. Oh, it even set the user parameter on the component. It's perfect.
Well, let's ship it.
Let's ship it. And shipped.
All right. So while this app is deploying, I want to show you this subdomain deploy is going to happen. You'll get a chance to actually interact with the app, and he'll be back to kind of walk you through that. But in the meantime, I want to show you what else you can do with the Magic Cursor. So because this is deploying, it won't actually interrupt anything here if I start messing up his project. So what I'll do is I'll just add a container here. And this container looks boring. So why don't we use Magic Cursor? And there's a shortcut with Command-G. I'm just going to say, make this a circle. Let's make it larger, maybe 200. And I want a gradient like a sunrise, 3-color gradient. Let's go fancy. Also give it a box shadow, strong, of light orange. So Magic Cursor should be able to kind of take what you want to do and apply it on widgets. And wow, look at that. Not quite a sunrise if you ask me. So I can be more explicit. If I wanted to say from light orange to purple, this is no longer a sunrise, but unless maybe it's a different planet. Add a gradient from light orange to purple. So you can do that with existing kind of widgets one at a time. But the power of Magic Cursor is when you want to modify multiple things at a time. For instance, I have these choice chips. Currently says flying, train, driving. What if I want to say, make this a plane, bike, actually let's see, train, car, bike, walk, jump, why not? And give it relevant icons. If anybody just squat jumps all the way here, I'd be very, very impressed. Wow, look at that. Let's make the selected, still not perfect, that plain icon is white. I can go in and easily modify it. Everything it's doing is stuff that you can just go in and modify and interact with. So, and the code will be generated exactly the same way that you're familiar with before. But let's make the selected color white so that it matches the theme. Now, what if I had my place picker here? Well, I'll undo that, easy. So what if I had this place picker not really match my style? Maybe this could have been 120 and a different color. That's ugly. So if we wanted to fix this, we can call on the magic cursor and say, make this match this style. And it should look at the context of what's around the screen and make it fit. So now the domain deployment is successful. And we can walk you through the generated app. If Guangwei wants to, OK, all right, no problem. I'll just walk you through the generated app. So you should be able to scan a QR code here. Yeah. Yeah, how do I do a QR code?
Right-click on it.
Ah. Thank you. Yes. So I'll bring this up so you can scan it and start filling out the info. This app was just built live right now. It's not made for mobile, though, so I'll actually fill it out here on stage as well. And I definitely flew here. Wow. 58,000 total miles traveled. Awesome. Cool. Let's switch back to the slides, please. So that's FlutterFlow AI tooling. Sketch the component, page autocomplete, and magic cursor. But that's not all. The features that we've had before, page gen and component gen, are actually completely updated, and now they generate much more higher quality pages and components than before. So check that out. This will launch with FlutterFlow 5.0, and Magic Cursor will be coming to beta testers first, and then launching later. So to recap all of the product updates, we're going to play the FlutterFlow 5.0 launch video, and I'll be right back.